Good day, everyone. I'm Pastor Loranda LeDrew. It's good to see you all again. It's been a while. I'll give you a bit of a rundown on what's been happening with me over the past few months and why I have not been able to keep up with my channel. But I am back, and we will be doing regular broadcasts that will keep us all up to date on current events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. But first, a little bit me. So almost about a year ago, guys, I underwent a major surgery for the removal of a large brain tumor. It has left me with a complete hearing loss on my left side. The good news is that it wasn't cancerous, but it put me down for some time, and I had some balance issues that required some adjusting to, and it was on the nerve leading to my ear up into my brain, and I have some neck issues. Everything is all on that side, and it's left me with some head shakes from time to time. And I've done several shots in the past to try to get rid of those. At one point, I had 15 injections at the same time, and it did nothing. It didn't help with it. So if it's something I have to live with, then so be it. I mean, it is what it is, but we're going to just continue on. And this past September, October, net, I spent 8 days in hospital with a digestive problem. I came down, I had diverticulitis, which it can rupture the bowel and things like that. So I found out that I have a gluten allergy. I have to be careful with what I eat, and but in the good news, I lost about 20 pounds so far because I can't eat gluten products and that anymore. So, which I'm okay. I mean, I'm adjusting. Things is good. It's a bit more expensive to eat when you got to pay $7, $8 for a loaf of bread compared to $1 something. But we're adjusting and things like that. So, it's been quite the year. And my husband fell off the roof. Was 5 months down from work, and I mean he's been back to work since last spring in March or so. But the beginning of the year was pretty rough for us and everything. So we are going to try to push through and keep going. And I started back 3 years ago with a channel called The Mustard Seed, and I had a tumor for 5 years, and I knew I had health issues, but it wasn't diagnosed until a few months before the removal. And so we had this channel up and going now for about a year, getting close to a year. And of course, I didn't get back on until recently. But I promised myself in the new year of January that my main focus is going to be my online ministry. And this is, something that's very important to me because I think that there's many people worldwide. Here, I can get a few local people, that's fine. But I can't reach a lot of, there's many out there globally that needs to hear a lot of this. So if the Lord gives me this platform to do my work on, then I'll be obedient and accept that and do what I can. But here locally, I am a pastor at our local church for the youth and our women's ministry and that. So I'm involved with doing work there. And I'm also an auditor and a front desk agent at an hotel locally as well. So I'm pretty busy. I have a lot on my plate, but I promised myself that I'm going to keep this as my main focus. And my ministry is what's important to me. So I'm going to continue with this and see where the Lord takes us. So, and I've also started my 6th year of Bible college. I already had my ministry diplomas and that some time ago there. So I'm working on my 2nd one. And if the Lord is willing, maybe over time, I will do my master's. So we'll see where that leads us. But right now, that's where we stand. So our main focus is we're going to try to get on here, if not daily, several times a week, to keep you updated with what's going on with world events and how it relates to biblical prophecy. So we'll take it here from day and go forward and see what happens. So let's see where this journey takes us. Anyway, guys, welcome everyone to the Global Salvation Prophecy Station. The gospel can be found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4. And also read the book of Romans. That's great information in there as well. We always like to say the ABCs of salvation. Admit you're a sinner, believe Jesus is Lord, that he died on a cross and rose again in 3 days, and call upon his name, confess your sins. ABCs of salvation, that is. So, but yeah, read 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4, guys, in the book of Romans. That'll help you out a lot there. If you have any questions, you can always contact me by email, and I'll be more than happy to talk with you. And if we need to schedule some phone time or online time, whichever you'd like, we can do that as well. So anyway, guys, many things have been happening over the past few months with all the Russian-Ukraine wars we all been hearing over and over again. There's earthquakes, sky phenomena, space debris, solar flares, incoming asteroids have been picking up, new viruses and illnesses. But on the bright side, Bibi is back. For many of you know, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, who was been in power for many, many years, but was taken out a few months ago, but is back in again now. So, but the UN, we all know, guys, about the two-state solution. Biblically, it tells us that the land of Israel is not to be divided. Well, when now Biden, I guess I should say, is they did some meetings in the past few months, and that they want the land of Israel separated from the Israelis to the Palestinians, and that, and saying that this is it's supposed to be peace talks and so on and so forth. They called the Abraham Accord and stuff into effect some time back there. But we know, guys, that this land is not to be divided. It says sudden destruction will come when they say peace and safety. So we know God says do not do it, but we know biblically that this is probably going to be done, right? So it's coming. The UN is saying now that Bibi is back in power, to kind of trying to back him in a corner and saying that he has to do this two-state solution, which many is saying that if he's backed into a corner like that, of course, that's going to create war. And we know that during the end days, Israel is going to be in war, right? War is coming to Israel. We know that. So yeah, things is crazy there. There's talks on building a new temple, which we know that in the end days, Jesus, when he do return, he is coming to dwell in this temple. So this third temple does have to be built. Well, a rabbi in Israel says that it's already built. They have it built in sections, waiting for it to be assembled. And there has to be 2 red heifers and to be sacrificed in this temple, or in this temple mount, whichever. And they've searched many, many years for these red heifers. None was ever found. But recently, 5 perfect. Now we know that these red heifers has to be spotless, has to be perfect. So, but 5 of them has been found by rabbis in Texas. So they've been seeking and searching these red heifers for quite some time. And they have not found any, but they have found 5 of them. Now they only need 2 to be sacrificed, and they say that it needs to be around 2 years old. Well, they're already over a year old, so they have 5 of them. So they said at least 2 out of these 5 will remain perfect. So guys, that's how close we are. Like, you know. So anyway, that's quite interesting. So that has happened in the last few months. So let's get into some current news and see what's taking place that's going on right now. We have a lot actually that's going on right now. This is off the Jerusalem Post. There is a president actually, or he's his name is Dmitry Medvedev. And he was the current, the past president or something of Israel, Russia. He's the former president. That's who he is. But he is now one of the big guys down there on Putin's team. So anyway, He has threatened the US with hypersonic cruise missiles these last few days. We all know that there will be wars and rumors of wars taking place and stuff. The Bible tells us that in the end days. But this Russia Ukraine war has a lot of propaganda going on. There's some truth to it, there's some lies to it. We know that there is a war taking place, but the whole truth is not being told to us, guys. They are saying things like, I mean, it is worse in some places there than what it is others, but they're trying to make us to believe that the farming, there's no farming production going on there and things like that. There is farming taking place. There is, um, they're growing the wheat and the products and that. It's being harvested, and there is great production going on taking place there, but it's been said that it's being taken underground or taken elsewhere and stored, because of the expected food crisis that's coming. And I guess only certain people will have access to that, like elites and things like that. So yeah, they are not telling you exactly what's going on. They're making it sound worse and than what it is. Now, I'm not saying it's not bad. It's bad over here in some places, but they're making you think that it's all of Ukraine and that everything's still stopped and there's nothing going on. But that's not true. That's not happening. So anyway, there is farming going on. There is production being processed over there and things like that. But us folks, we probably won't get the benefits to a lot of that harvest. So anyway, guys, there is a manufactured food crisis taking place. They are burning down food facilities, and they've been doing that for the past year or so, and they're calling it accidents. The last I've heard, it's been well over 100 facilities between Canada and the US alone that has been destroyed. But guys, this is worldwide. I mean, you can research it, and I have, and it's taking place globally. It's not just Canada and the US and here and there. This is taking place globally. They are trying to destroy food production like worldwide, right? And of course, when they control the food, they control the people. So they know that, and we have people like the World Economic Forum and things like that, and it's all done purposely. So people, all this war propaganda is just that. As much of it is false information, but the populace like you and me is not being told the truth. So anyway, back to Dmitry Medvedev. He threatens U.S. He is a former president of Russia. He is now one of the big players on Putin's team over there. And he is threatening U.S. with hypersonic cruise missiles. He did this a few days ago. He sent missiles to the shores of the NATO countries. He's done that. And he has now made it a threat to deploy Mach 9 missiles through the Indian and Atlantic Oceans. And we know that this is going to affect the U.S. He is sending a missile that will hit the Potomac River. Now, we know that this Potomac River flows through Washington, D.C., so of course hit the capital, right? And we know that Russia has missiles that can take out New York City, say New York City, in 1 hour. And they say that some of these missiles will take, these missiles that they have can take like 6 minutes to reach the U.S. So, I mean, it doesn't give much time, right? They also have missiles called Satan 1 and Satan 2. Ironic, right? But they have these hypersonic missiles, which they do this by an EMP. It's an electronic pulse that they can set off over an area, and it can knock out power lines, bring down buildings. It can do major damage. It can wipe out, they say, like New York City in an hour. So we know that this is coming. We know nuclear war is coming. The Bible tells us that something is coming that will melt the eyes out of the sockets of people. The tongue will dissolve in the mouth, and it's all like soft tissue and that. What does this? Of course, nuclear war, radiation. But there's also another source of radiation, not only nuclear war, and we'll get into that in a bit. So these missiles, guys, that is being made a threat to Russia or to U.S. Sorry, uh, you know, Russia is not that far from Canada. You go over the globe, it's kind of like right there. Um, do you know that a lot of these missiles will have to be fired up and go over Canada to reach US? Do you think all of these missiles is going to reach the US? So there's can be great danger there for Canada as well. So anything that goes on in the US affects Canada anyway. I mean, we get a lot of our food, our everything, these brought up by the truckers. So anything that goes on in the US will affect Canada. I mean, that's just given. That's just the way it is, right? So this can, I mean, they sends over missiles over Canada, and that did enter into the U.S. and that creates great danger for us. So, guys, crazy things are happening out there, and that's just one thing we have taking place. Meanwhile, we have a lot happening in us in the skies. This year in 2023, there will be 17 cosmic waves coming that will hit the Earth. Now, this first wave has taken place on January the 5th. So this is already happening. They said it may take a few days to get to us. Well, this is January 11th. And right now, today, this morning, all the flights in the US were grounded because of the skies and these waves and that. So, yeah, it's going to create chaos. Right now, there is enough asteroids and that's coming in from space that people are getting injured and killed daily, apparently. So, and I know I've seen the articles where they're coming down through people's roofs of their houses and everything. So there is quite the events going on out there that the mainstream media is keeping quiet and not telling you. But even NASA is putting out some reports. They're not telling the whole story on it, but they are giving hints and they're putting out bits and pieces. So I guess you can't come back and say, "Oh, well, we weren't warned." Well, yeah, you were, but it's not made into such a big thing that the populace are actually getting this information. So, guys, it's taking place out there. Big time. Our magnetosphere is breaking down. Our atmosphere, there's radiation coming in and allowing harmful things. So when we talk about radiation, they say nuclear war. Well, it's not all nuclear war. It is coming in from the skies. Now, let's just take a moment, guys. What did Jesus say in the Bible is going to happen in end days? Well, Jesus was there over 2,000 years ago. And he gave all the prophecies of what to look forward to in the end days. None of these things have ever happened in the 2,000 years. What's happening right now, today. And some things, so you'll hear some people say, well, we've always had earthquakes. Yeah, there was always earthquakes. There's always been asteroids. Yeah, there's always been asteroids, food issues, things like that. It always had been, but not to the point that it has been now, and not all at one time. Now, Jesus, when he told us those things in the Bible, he never said, look for one of these times. He said, look for this time, right? So he didn't say that this is going to happen 10, 20, 100 times, and one of these times I'm going to come. He said, when you see all these things take place, look up, for your redemption draws nigh. So all of these, this is going to happen once, all of these things together, which is taking place right now. So my advice to everybody is get right with the Lord, because we do not know the day or the hour that he's returning. He said he's going to come like a thief in the night. Do we know when a thief is coming? No, we don't. He comes and robs us, right? So no, we do not know when he's coming. But if he's coming like a thief in the night, we better be prepared, right? If you knew a thief was coming to your home tonight, wouldn't you be prepared for him? Of course you would. Well, Jesus told you that when you see these things happening, be prepared, because then is when he's coming. Well, it's happening, guys, all at once, like never before. I seen an earthquake map the other day where earthquakes have taken place that have been recorded for many, 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 many years. And you get one here, and eventually you get another one there, and you get another one there. Well, when 2000 came in, things picked up. But this past year has been absolutely crazy, like never seen before. I mean, 50, 60, 70 or so a day. It's unbelievable. You can go to the earthquake map online, and I have it on my phone, and you can get these earthquakes, the magnitude of what they were, if they were 2 point something or 7 point something or whatever, and where it's taking place, and you won't believe it's unbelievable what's happening right now. So we have things that's taking place right now that has not never taken place before in such large quantity. So, guys, for this radiation and stuff like that that's coming in, I mean, that's going to cause a lot of sickness. It's going to destroy plant life, animal life, and everything. It's going to create huge chaos and stuff. And it's globally, right? It's not just to a certain area. It's happening globally. The sun is exploding, putting stuff off like never seen before, right? This today, the sun yesterday, it's exploding. It's putting off solar flares. These solar flares can cause anything, anywhere from blackouts, cell phone issues, radio issues, radiation issues. I mean, it can cause a multiple of things, and they're getting stronger, more powerful daily, so it seems. So, guys, yeah, all this biblical stuff and radiation and that, I mean, it's all taking place. So, anyway, guys, another thing that these are all things that mainstream media is not covering. I've been doing this for a few years, keeping up on things, and daily, it's just, I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. Pastor Paul has been doing it for 12 years, is online church, and occasionally there'll be things, right? But like, you've never seen nothing like now. This is absolute chaos, what's happening, and people, and they're not letting you know. And again, like Jesus said, that when he returns, it'll be like the days of Noah. So, what happened in the days of Noah? For one, there was a DNA issue. They were trying to change the DNA. What's going on today? Right? They're trying to do the same thing. It says that when he comes, like, it'd be like the days of Noah. They were eating, drinking, marrying. So right now we've seen a bit of chaos with the pandemic and stuff like that. So right now people is thinking, well, everything's going back to normal. The restrictions is lifted, so on and so forth. They're eating, drinking, marrying, and all that again, right? And when we see these things happening, I mean, that's like the days of Noah, and the world is wicked like the days of Noah. And they say the population is similar to the days of Noah. And Jesus said, when you see these things happening, look up, for your redemption draws near. So right now, things, you can look at a newspaper and look at the Bible, and it's pretty much par and par. So it's coming right off the pages, guys. There's only so long we have to warn you. Like I said, we don't know the day or the hour. We don't know if we'll be here tomorrow. We might be here 5 years in a row. I don't know. But it would be no surprise if we weren't. So let's put it that way. So be ready. Get right with the Lord, guys. Guys, I follow also an intelligent officer in the U.S. called Mike. Mike has been following Mike for a few years too now. And everything he said has been right on. He has not missed a beat. He told us months before the pandemic was coming that there was a virus coming, many people was going to die, and all these things that was going to take place. And I put that out there. A few months or so before it happened, I was laughed at, I was mocked, I was called a conspiracy theorist and everything, until all of a sudden we're all locked down. So I've put out many things over the last 2 or 3 years, and been called many things. I have lost family members. I have lost friends. I have friends mock me, make fun of me, tell me I believe in a sky daddy. I'm a woman. I shouldn't be speaking in a church. I've had everything said to me. Well, you look at it biblically, Jesus had a lot of women in his ministry. So, I mean, yeah, the foolishness people goes on with, and they'll take parts of the Bible and read a verse and say, oh, look, there it is. But the guys, as a rule of thumb, just read what was said before and after that verse, and doesn't pertain to me now. A lot of it, right? A lot does in the Bible, of course, but if he's speaking to a specific person on a specific thing, I didn't do that. I wasn't there at that time. You can't blame me for that. So people stop cherry picking Bible verses. read it for the whole thing, for what it is. So yeah, I've lost family members. I've had many friends and stuff say things to me and tell me how crazy I was. But you know what the Bible says? Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. So every tongue will say, yes, Jesus, your Lord. They will bow to him. It's just I'm doing it a little earlier so that I know that I'm going to go to heaven. But where they're going to end up may not be a nice place. And that actually bothers me because I don't want to see anybody go to spend their eternity in hell. But the sad truth is, it's going to happen, right? So my goal is to tell the gospel to as many and show them how serious it is by relating biblical prophecy with current events so that they'll know just how urgent it is to give your life to Jesus Christ. But you make that decision. That's up to you. Anyway, guys, we see all these things happening right now and like never before. So NASA is even putting certain things out there, like I said, and they're not telling us the whole thing, but they are giving hints, and many things is taking place. So anyway, every bit of it is biblical, as Jesus said, and he told his disciples, there will be wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, diseases, viruses, earthquakes, famines, and fearful sights in the sky. Well, folks, every single bit of this is happening right now. I don't know about you guys, but when I was young, as a kid, we'd look up in the skies to see the stars, right? See the sun, see the clouds. But right now, what's coming down from the skies is not pleasant. There's no longer just looking up and see the stars. You don't know what's coming. If things are coming down, going through people's roofs of their houses and injuring people daily, worldwide, and stuff like that, then yeah, it's not fun just to go and gaze at the stars anymore. I'm not saying not to, but I'm just saying, guys, be prepared because there's much more going out there right now. So I don't know if any of you guys, I don't know, many of you read the Bible. I don't know how much you know and how much you don't, but just a little food for thought. In the Bible, it tells us that there's going to be an asteroid coming in the days that's going to destroy much of the earth, going to poison the waters, billions of people is going to die and things like that. Much of the third population, and it's going to be great destruction. This asteroid is called Apophis. Well, NASA just a few months ago put out that they have found an asteroid that's headed straight for Earth. And it's quite a big asteroid, and it's going to be quite an impact and cause a lot of damage. Guess what they have this asteroid called? Apophis. And he's supposed to arrive in 2030. So if he is going to hit during the tribulation or the wrath of God, which is a 7-year process, how close are we to the coming of Jesus to get us out of here? I mean, just think about it, right? I don't know, but Jesus did tell us of these things. The Bible do tell us of these things. Then I wouldn't suggest that we had ignored them, considering what we see that's happening right now. And then, is it a coincidence, really? I mean, there's nothing by accident. There's no coincidences. We know you can take the Bible, like say in a newspaper, and read it, and it's par pretty much if you're getting the proper newspaper. So yeah, be ready, guys. So many people don't really realize what's taking place on this dying earth. They don't want to hear about it, and many don't want to hear about the Bible, especially in the end days. And people says, oh, you're doom and gloom and creating fear mongering and stuff like that. Not for me. I'm a Christian. I know what the Bible says. I know. I've read the last chapter. I know who wins. So Paul tells us to encourage each other with these words. So I'm telling you as encouragement that this is going to happen. So you can stay and be fearful. And Jesus tells us that things are going to happen. It's going to come in from space and atmosphere and be in the skies, that it's going to be so fearful that men's hearts will fail them. So, I mean, you can be here for that if you want. I don't want to. So, I mean, what do you want to take your chances on? I'm taking mine on Christ. So you can laugh, you can mock, you can do whatever. But in the end, everybody talks to God. So I just don't want to be judged in the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like we're all going to be judged, but I don't want to be judged where it's going to keep me out of heaven. So my salvation is through Christ. And Jesus said the only way to heaven is through him. You can't just say, well, I believe in God and I'm going to heaven. Satan believes in God. He knows he exists. He ain't going to heaven. Right? You have to accept Jesus as your Savior and go to heaven through him. He says, no one goes to the Father except through me. So there's your salvation. There's your ticket to heaven right there. I have mine. I don't know about anybody else, but I suggest you get it. So yeah, let them call you conspiracy theorists and all these conspiracies, when in fact it's been written thousands of years ago. It's in the Bible. So I guess the conspiracies was created quite some time ago. And considering the prophecies that was in the Bible and all of the prophecies that has already taken place, I think I'm going to take my chances with the Bible. Yeah, I'm going to go for God's word on that. Yeah, guys. So making people not believe in the Bible, making people think that just because they believe in God and not Jesus and haven't accepted Jesus as their Savior, they're going to get in heaven. And that is one of the greatest deceptions ever told. That's wrong, guys. So a lot of us spend much time in Facebook. So I suggest you get your face out of Facebook and in the book, in the Word of God. That will save your soul, save your life. So anyway, but for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Imagine all the lost souls that will be in the end. It's heartbreaking, right? All the people's going to be hell. Once you get to hell, guys, you can't get out. That's utter torment for the rest of your life that you can't even, a human brain can't even comprehend. You can't even imagine how horrible it is. So the most thing that you can imagine that's horrible to you, it's going to be way worse, right? So I suggest get right with Christ. So anyway, guys, apparently there's new viruses coming, and we know Jesus said there will be pestilence. He didn't just say one virus. There's going to be many. So they have new one called Kraken, and they have a polio one coming called Sears and things. Back when they said Gates did, they did, at meetings and that, telling that what would happen, if a virus was to come. They did that a few months before the COVID hit. So right now, they just did another simulation on the Sears. And I've heard it said that it may be full blown by 2025, but we'll just watch and see what happens and see where it goes from there. But they found this virus strand called Kraken in the wastewaters of Alberta, Canada, and it's been found in the US as well. So funny that the province that it is would be Alberta of all of Canada, but no surprise there to me. Anyway, I guess we'll be the scapegoat, but we'll leave that at that. I guess it's just another way to explain away all the sudden deaths, right? And many of us knows what's been happening there. Anyway, we will step away from that subject for a few minutes and let's see what else is taking place. So, guys, a lot of things is taking place right now. Like I said, in the airports in the USA this morning, they had to ground their flights because of the waves of energy that's coming in from the sky with the solar flares and all these things. That's all crazy and off the charts. But other things is taking place in the world. Too is a package of uranium's been found in the London airport. Interesting. 7.7 earthquake. It's Indonesia, just after the January 5th wave that it. So, guys, storms have been developing and creating what they call river bombs. The storms right now is getting so intense that they are creating new words for them. Like we've heard of hurricanes and that. Like forever, right? Well, now they're hurricanes, and it's getting so strong and so bad, they're calling them hypercanes. They're coming up with new terminology to describe these crazy storms. Well, right now they have what they call a river bomb. So water is creating an atmosphere, and he said a lot of it is caused by pressure of all these waves and stuff that's coming in from space. And a lot of rain develops water that in the clouds, and it goes over one area and just lets go, and it just bombs that area. Well, right now in California, they have mass of floods going on and mudslides. The last report I have is 14 people has died. It could be higher, heaven forbid, but it could be higher right now. But as of yesterday, there was 14 people dead with these rain bombs is causing all this mudslides and things. So yeah, it's huge. You have rivers drying up, and you have some places that has got flooding because the rivers is overflowing. But again, that's biblical as well. Euphrates River is drying up, which tells us in the end days this will happen. And right now, the Mississippi River is drying up. And I can remember Mike, the intelligence officer in the U.S., stating this. Probably close to a year back, that you're going to see the Mississippi River dry up, and people was kind of like, yeah, whatever, Mississippi River, like, not happening. Well, right now, the Mississippi River is drying up to the point that there's islands in the Mississippi River that you could only get to by boat that people's actually walking to today. That's how much in the last few months the river's dried up. So it's taking place. Cryptocurrency is taking a tank and is in trouble. Well, they have what they call blockchain. Many of you heard that. So we know that that's going to be what will probably be taking place of the cash and stuff. So they have to create issues with cryptocurrency in order to make things go the way they want. So yeah, we're going to see trouble and issues with that there. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis actually activated the National Guard recently because of the influx of refugees. Oh, that man has done some great things for Florida in the past couple of years or so, and but man, he has great things to deal with too, and of course we know that a lot of things is working against them, because it's done on purposely to try to hurt them and stuff like that. But anyway, right now, that's the situation down there. You had to activate the National Guard because of the influx of refugees. And we know, guys, that World War III is on the rise. Actually, it's already started, just in very small stages, and it has been for a while. We also know that in the end days, there will be the Ezekiel War, and it tells us that in the end days, there's a war that will take place, that it will come from the north, which Russia is the north, and it'll come down, it'll attack Gomer, which people is like, what is Gomer? Well, Gomer is ancient Ukraine. I mean, it's all biblical, right? Called the Gog and Magog War. We can read all about that in the Bible. And what's going on right now? Well, Russia from the north has come down into Gomer, ancient Gomer, which is Ukraine. So all that has already started. So that's another biblical prophecy that will take place in the end days, that is taking place. And we also know there's going to be a sixth trumpet war and Armageddon and all this stuff to come. So for any of you guys think, oh, war is going to let up, it's not. It's going to increase, right? So many people don't realize really a lot of what's taking place, but nevertheless, it's taking place. But just be ready. Again, that's why we tell everybody about the ABCs of salvation and the gospel and things like that, so that you can be ready for when these things come. So people, get ready. I mean, get yourselves ready. If you need to talk to me, you can. You can email me. We can talk through email. We can set up face-to-face. We can talk by phone, whichever is convenient for you. and you want information biblically or anything like that, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to sit and talk with you. If you need a Bible, if anyone out there needs a Bible, let me know. We will send you a Bible free of charge worldwide. So no matter where you are in the world, if you want a Bible, we will send you the King James Bible. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you live. Just let me know. We will get that to you free of charge. So anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go for today. And like I said, we will be coming on several times a week. If not, going to try to get every day. If not every day, with work and everything else that I have on the go, I'm going to aim for several times a week, at least 4, say 3 to 4 times. But we're going to try to aim for every day, right? So anyway, guys, depends on what takes place in the world. And right now, there's no shortage of news worldwide. And we will, and take the Bible and see how it pertains to Bible prophecy and stuff like. There's so much to report, guys. I will be here all day, so I will take some time and take some of the stories and put it together into one broadcast throughout the week. So other than that, guys, take care, and we will see you again soon. And like Pastor Melvin Whittington says at the end of his broadcast, we'll see you here, there, or in the air. God bless. Take care, everyone.